think I can devote more time also to studying. When I say devote more time to studying, it doesn't mean you're gonna watch your stocks every minute. You have to remember, investing, trading, you still treat the stock market as an asset class. If you're looking at it every second, di trabaho na yun, di parang empleyado ka na rin. Wala ka nga lang boss, pero empleyado ka pa rin. So, that's what I'm trying to say. When I say you're watching it, you just have to devote a set of time based on your schedule, based on your timeline for you to be able to do it as well. So, not to burst everyone's bubble, peso cost averaging is not the best way for you to make money, but also, it doesn't mean that it's the worst way to make money. That's why it's called average, because you will get the average. You won't get the best returns. You also won't get the worst returns as well. Why am I saying this? Because if you try to nitpick your stocks and to time it and then you don't do well, it means you might lose more money than the average. But that's what peso cost averaging will give you. Hey guys, does peso cost averaging work all the time? Should you invest and do the peso cost averaging method? I know I made several videos about the pros of peso cost averaging. Now let's show you the opposite side. Where are instances where you can make money by doing the opposite, by not doing peso cost averaging. So if you want to know more on the downside of peso cost averaging, check this video out. Hey guys, so I'm gonna answer another question that was sent out via YouTube. As you all know, as I start making videos, you start sending in your comments. As you start sending in your comments, I start to read them, and there are a lot of interesting comments and there are a lot of interesting questions as well that I'll try, if I know will benefit a lot of people, I'll try to make videos off of it, because that's the goal of all of this. I want to create videos that will give the most value, that will give the most benefit. If you have been following me, subscribing to me for quite some time, and you're learning from this, please comment. I'm learning, I'm getting a lot from this. Now, this question, I posted a video yesterday about peso cost averaging. It was a Tagalog video where I talked about ano nga ba ang peso cost averaging. Then there was a comment. It was by the shrink. I'll try to put the graphic here, but here's the comment. I don't know, shrink, please comment naman. I want to know your name, where do you live, where you're from. If you don't want to share it via YouTube, comment, PM me in Instagram. Okay, anyways, the shrink said this: Marvin, I started stocks in 2015. First, I used this strategy. He was pertaining to peso cost averaging, but the returns weren't as good as what I hoped. When I bought your book in 2016, Stock Smart's Stock Investing Made Easy, details in the description on how you can get it, and winning strategies for investing, that's when I started to win big. Wow, thank you so much. So this is also probably a success story. I made a video also on people who lost money in the market. It's nice to hear also success stories like this. I don't want to brag, but I started with 7,000 pesos in capital. Now I have over 200,000 pesos in capital. So essentially 70,000 to 200,000. It's almost tripling the money that he has. So from 7, if kung nag 210 yun, then it would have been triple already. Anyways, I know it's not that big, but for me, it's huge. But congratulations to you. Please remember, from 2016 to where we are now, if you just looked at the context about it, you have beaten a lot of the mutual funds, a lot of the balanced fund, even the index fund. You've beaten majority of the funds out there. So kudos to you. It's nice to hear stories like this. It's nice to hear success stories like this, because people have this stigma that you cannot win in the stock market. People have this stigma that you only have to do this particular style of trading and investing to make money. That's not true. You just have to do you. You just have to find what works for you. You just have to find what technique, what style will fit you, what will fit your narrative, because that's what will make you money over the market. It's not following my style, because my style will work for me. The style of Warren Buffett will work for him. The style of Ray Dalio will work for him. The style of Peter Lynch will work for him. It has to come to a point where you know who you are, you know the risks that you can take, you know the strategies that you can employ, you know what your timelines are. Because here's the thing, people always compare timelines with a lot of people. He's earning that, I'm not earning that. Guess what? It doesn't matter, because your timelines are different, your capital is different, your goals are all different. So it has to come to a point where you put yourself above other people's opinions. It's time that you put yourself destroying what other people will do, and you just trade your own plan, do your own strategy, because at the end of the day, that's what will help you win. That's what will make you win in the markets. And I've seen it over and over from people who have made multi-millions to billions. They just follow their own race. They just pursue their own goal. So anyways, congratulations to you, 7,000, 200,000. Never despise, when you say it's not, it's not too big, never despise small beginnings, because the skill that you had from 70 to 100 to 200,000 is the same skill that will allow you to make that 200,000, 600,000, to make that 600,000, 1.8 million. Because if you're faithful with something that's small, you're faithful with something that's not get rich quick, and you're faithful with doing and loving the process, guess what? That's how you get rich. That's how you make money. That's how you beat the 99% of the population. Anyways, I bought when the stocks were cheap at the support level. So his technique, just to show you this, is basically he was using valuations, probably PE ratio, because the book Winning Strategies for Investing was all about PE ratios, knowing when it was cheap, then buying when it was at the support level, then sold when it peaked. I assume when you said it peaked, you were talking about the resistance level. So something like that, something to that effect. So support and resistance. So his two tools lang for trading is basically this: buying a stock when it was cheap, meaning PE ratio, meaning valuations, fundamental analysis. Next is buying a stock at the support. That's his trading plan. He knows he developed the skill of buying a stock at the support level, then selling it when it comes to the resistance. So why am I saying this, and what's the context of all of this? The difference between this and peso cost averaging is basically, number one, if you use peso cost averaging, sometimes you would have to buy at a higher area. You would have to buy even when the market is expensive, even when the stock is at the resistance. And for the shrink, the person who commented here, that wasn't his value system, that wasn't his strategy. That's why I'm saying that peso cost averaging is not a one-size-fits-all strategy. I'm also saying that his strategy is not something that will fit everyone's trading personality, but it fit him. Knowing this cuento, it looks like that this person is not really someone who is going in it for 10 years holding one stock, as what I've mentioned in the previous video. Peso cost averaging will work if 10 years, at the very minimum, you are willing to hold the stock. Looks like for him, what he did was every time the stock touched the resistance, he would sell, he would take profits, he would come in only when it's at the support. He was not willing to buy it when it was expensive. So please remember, if in peso cost averaging, there's a set of discipline that you need to employ, that you need to have the discipline to put in a steady amount of money every time. In trading and using fundamentals and technicals, there's also a set of skills that you also need to employ. The set of skills you need to employ was this: I will not buy the stock if it's expensive to me. I will have to exercise patience, that I will just stay in cash while all of this is happening. Then, when the stock is close to the resistance, or when the stock is very, very far from the support, I will stay away first and I won't do anything. That's discipline. That's you not transacting when your trading plan is telling you not to do anything as well. And that's what works for him. And it works for me too. And that's what I want to tell you. If you want to trade, you have to know where the support and resistance is. We don't know the amount of time that he spent to practice, because at the end of the day, in terms of analyzing this also, peso cost averaging requires lesser amount of skill though, versus trading versus technicals, because there's an amount of study. Please remember this: you don't have to be an expert, you don't have to be perfect in making all of those trades, but at least you need to know what you're getting into. You need to know the rudiments of plotting your own support, knowing what particular candle to start buying when it hits those support levels, what particular area also to sell when it hits those resistance levels. So that's his trading plan. Next, he was just sharing, to name a few companies that made so much for me. He made money from RLC, ICT, BPI, Meralco, and all of them were in your book and they delivered. Thank you so much. So yeah, it's nice to hear stories like this. But if there's one thing that I want you to get, is that totoo yun. Peso cost averaging will give you the average. Peso cost averaging is, if there's a pop version, kumbaga sa music, if there's a pop version, a Lady Gaga, I don't know why I'm using a Lady Gaga example, but if there's a pop reference or a pop version of of investing, it's peso cost averaging, because it's easy for a lot of people to understand. It's easy to deploy. It's easy to use. It's not as hard as what a lot of people are thinking. So if you are a person that say, I just want the pop version, I don't want the classical one, I don't want something that's more heavy into other things, then I will go with peso cost averaging. But if you're a type of a person, you have to know yourself more. If you're the type of person that you think that, hey, I think I can devote more time also to study. When I say devote more time to studying, it doesn't mean you're gonna watch your stocks every minute. You have to remember, investing, trading, you still treat the stock market as an asset class. If you're looking at it every second, di trabaho na yun, di parang empleyado ka na rin. Wala ka nga lang boss, pero empleyado ka pa rin. So that's what I'm trying to say. When I say you're watching it, you just have to devote a set of time based on your schedule, based on your timeline, for you to be able to do it as well. So, not to burst everyone's bubble, peso cost averaging is not the best way for you to make money, but also, it doesn't mean that it's the worst way to make money. That's why it's called average, because you will get the average. You won't get the best returns. You also won't get the worst returns as well. Why am I saying this? Because if you try to nitpick your stocks and to time it and then you don't do well, it means you might lose more money than the average. But that's what peso cost averaging will give you. You will get average. It will never be amazingly high returns. It will never be returns that could possibly beat the index on a regular basis, but you will never get returns also that will massively lose a lot of money also. You will be at the average. You will be in the middle. So it depends on what you want. It depends on what your context is. But this is me saying peso cost averaging works, but it depends on the context. It depends on the timeline. It depends on the skill set. But if you know what you're getting into, you know how to pick, select, and time, then most likely you could also beat peso cost averaging. And kudos to more examples like this. If you also have a success story, comment them below and I'll try to feature them, especially if it benefits a lot of people, if it uplifts people. You know what this channel is all about? We never talk about bad things about people. We never talk about things that will bring other people down, because the goal of this channel is to bring people up. Winners take people up. Winners bring people and make them successful, and that's what we want. You are all winners, and your goal is to bring other people up as well. Never take people down. Never put them down. Never push them down. Always take people up. Always bring people higher. Always take them to a level where they've never gone before. And kudos to this story that he made money even though he was not using peso cost averaging. So I guess that's it for now. I hope you got a lot from this. I hope you like this question and answer format. I hope this is something that adds tremendous value to all of you, because that's all I want. That's why I keep making videos in this channel, because I want you guys to win. I want you guys to learn as much as you can. I want this greatest time for Filipinos to make money, that we take advantage of it, that it's not something that we will put to waste, that we will be part of this, that our generation will be part of one of the greatest wealth transfers ever, that we will be part, we will earn, we will make massive amounts of money from this. And I hope you are part of this as well. And I hope this channel is instrumental also to be able to help you guys win. So I guess that's it for now. This is Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. Please subscribe, please smash the bell, please like, please comment. Links to the seminars are down below as well. So see you all again soon, guys, and God bless you.